Week 17 of the National Football League. And we'll see the Broncos leader at quarterback as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Broncos and the Dolphins, and it comes your way next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
From Denver. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it up. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. So that a nightmarish start to a football game as they give the ball away on the opening kickoff.
And they put their defense in a bind right away. They have to go into protect mode.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Hall. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Now they send a man in motion right. Hall again. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. This feels like something we'd see more commonly, CD, in a college game. They give it to the receiver down here in the red zone, but it winds up successful.
Yeah, partner, I think you think it's less likely to find running space to the edge down here close to the end zone where things are so condensed. But a lot of times you end up focusing on the running backs, and they're able to slip it to the receiver.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Review the play. Ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So crisis averted, but now facing third and goal. Quick throw complete. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. That was a big throw right there on third and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on third and goal. Because really, second down, second and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. Third down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. after the touchdown. Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes. For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Throwing to start the drive. Samuel. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Again, he'll drop to throw. Caught left side, Williams. He's got room at the 30, down the left sideline. A big play there on the catch and run, 46 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield, instead checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's third and goal. The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold it? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams. That's his 18th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from drawing level. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball and put the play in motion. And sometimes you get that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations? In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future as they look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Samuel. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Samuel. And that is incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
And this returnable for Hill. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Back to 60, back to 60. 18, 19. Back to 60.
Off the play fake. Watkins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The Dolphins at 9-6 now. They have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. And that's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit at the 35.
Okay, ready? Look at my team. Hey, hey.
Through one quarter, 9-7 our score. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. As they've got it with a third down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. In motion, Hill. On third down, here's Hall. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on third and 5, third and 6, third and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On second down, a run with Hall. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And the slot man goes in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Operating from the gun, Watkins. Quick hitter to Jalen Watkins. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge is successful. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. They'll motion out one of the tight ends. They'll try again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Breece Hall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to move back in front. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite. but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here we go, check!
On first down, Samuel. They'll complete this one to Watson. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A pass there complete to Sutton, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Down inside the 10. A gain of 37.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready, set!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Samuel. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Bradley Chubb racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And this one is right through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. On 1st and 10, Watkins. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 73 yards. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Alert! 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 Alert!
Throwing on 1st down. Samuel forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw away.
I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Ready.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this will be caught at the 30. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton is the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We begin up in the Windy City, an interconference battle between Buffalo and Chicago. And this one already a 2-touchdown game as they've just gone to halftime. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. T.J. Hawkinson, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year.
With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Miami. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
Ball again on second down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Off play action. Watkins.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on third and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll bring a tight end in motion left.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hall again on second down.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Back to throw. Watkins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Azeez Ojulari
coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will make this a 9-point lead. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Samuel.
That's caught left side by Judy.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Hey, alert!
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Looking to throw. Samuel, complete to Likely. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first down, Samuel got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2 at the Dolphins' 32-yard line.
Looking to throw on second down. Samuel complete to Likely on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's good for a Denver Broncos.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Back to throw. Samuel. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles. And it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulled out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. In motion, Hill. Hall ought to give up the middle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll run with Hall. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 75 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the counter, it's Hall.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here's Hall again.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Breece Hall
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins will add to their fourth quarter lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partners. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that might just seal the deal here. It makes it a 2-score game with not a lot of time on the clock. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos now down on the scoreboard. 1:53 remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Samuel throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Pass complete, it's likely. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
That's taken in by Watson.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Back to throw again.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Now Hall to start the drive.
Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
Hall again on 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Hall again.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it's never easy to come into Denver to win. You think all you have to deal with the altitude, but they got the job done.
Well, there's a reason Olympic athletes train nearby. Right? They've got a terrific training center in Colorado Springs. You train at the altitude, the lungs expand, you go down to the regular. Oh, my goodness, they can go all day. And, in fact, a lot of visiting teams, when you visit Denver, you know it's printed in your locker room? Welcome to the Mile High City. The air is rare. They get in your head that way.
So for Miami,
they get a critical 10th win on the year with 1 game left to